Hello and welcome everyone once again. So we are here to discuss about Python, which will be an introductory session. This enables you to know about Python, how to install, what is Python. So let's start. So let's see about no big data. I hope you guys have already enrolled yourself through no big data, through meetup or through some other means. So no big data is specializing on big data technologies and is training on big data, Hadoop, Spark and other technologies. Why no big data is unique is we have expert instructors. We have cloud labs, our own proprietary, lifetime access to LMS, learning management system. Everybody gets a login credential for access to LMS, class recordings, assignments, and important thing is there is a real life project which takes you further from just theoretical sessions or just concepts. At the end of the course, you get a certificate which will be based on quizzes and the assignments one completes. Of course, there is a support. Yep. This is about me, a little bit about me. I am Anup Keshwani and I am the instructor for today. Yep. So a brief about me. I worked with Samsung for around 4 years, Toshiba Software, Nutanix, Enea, and I'm also associated with Tech Boost, that is a training company again. So let's begin about Python. First of all, the question comes in mind is why do people use Python when you have many other languages in market which is who are already existing for a long time now? So why do you need a Python language, another language to solve your purpose where you can do this with C, C++, Java or other languages? So here are a few things why people are using Python. First is software quality. So the readability of the Python code is very high. It is very much readable, reusable, maintainable. It is both object oriented and functional programming language. Hello again. Am I audible now? Okay, great. I don't know why it broke. Okay, so let's continue. We were discussing on the usage of Python. Why do people use Python? Yep. So the first thing we saw is code reusability, and the readability is much higher than other languages. Developer productivity. Productivity increases when the developer needs little time to code. He's efficient enough. So the code size you can see is 1/3 to 1/5 of C++ or Java code. That means the code size is short. The developer needs little time to code for the same feature of the same program he is developing. So the maintainability increases. Portability. So the Python program can run on Windows, Linux, Mac, so it is independent of the platform the OS one is using. The library support. There are a lot of libraries with Python, third-party inbuilt libraries, which make Python more stronger. So the libraries, for naming a few, are text pattern matching, regular expression, which is RE, network scripting, the socket, third-party libraries, website construction, numeric programming, SciPy, NumPy, serial port access, PySerial, PY serial, game development, Pygame, Piglet. Yep, so the library support with Python is huge, which is again a strong point for using Python. Another very important point is it is very simple to code, is fun. It's like, you know, the code is more clearer. That is, you use the statements are English type. It is not much based on syntax like the semicolon, the braces which you encounter in C, C++, other languages. So the question arises, why is it a scripting language? No, it is not just a scripting language, it is a general purpose language with all the features which a high level programming language has. So what is the downside of
Muted. Unmuted.
I'm sorry, the connection got disconnected. I don't know. Uh, so we just saw a few advantages of Python, why it is used, and let us see why it is a bit slower. I mean, what are the downsides of using Python? In terms of execution speed, yes, it is slower than C, C++. and the reason being it is a higher level language than C. That means it is more closer to the user rather than exposing memory management and pointers which C++ exposes. But the development time is faster. The reason being it is more closer to the user. To make it faster, if at all somebody is concerned on making it faster, you can use PyPy to compile and speed the execution by 10x or ranging from 10x to 100x. Another big reason all the giants are using Python, they have adopted it and hence the industry is adopting it. Google, Netflix, Cisco, Dropbox, Intel, everybody has or is adopting Python. These are few of the links which will take you to some of the important aspects like success stories and things like Wikipedia and softwares. So I can see a question from Shilpa. She's asked 10x to 100x is at par with C++. Okay, so this was executed by someone and the measurement was given. So it is just an approximate, just an approximate range to speed of the execution. Yes, to say that it is at par with C or C++, it is not relative to C or C++, rather it is related to the Python code itself. Without PyPy, that is without PyPy. So I hope this answers your question. Okay, so we have got another question from Anshu. So you have asked how does PyPy increase the execution speed? So PyPy has something called just-in-time compiler. So that is the thing which increases the speed of execution. We will not go to the how just-in-time compiler actually increases. So if you see Java comes with that, and hence it is a bit faster than Python. Okay, so we would proceed further with what you can do with Python. Okay, so we have got, as we discussed, that we have got a huge library base which enables us to do a lot of things. So some of the things are mentioned over here, which is systems programming. There are modules called OS, sys, shutil, and other modules which enable you to do systems programming, administration and stuff. GUI, Kinter, PYGTK, internet scripting, socket programming, database programming. You have DB APIs, numeric and scientific programming, SciPy, NumPy, and gaming images. You have scikit image, Excel, that is Excel sheet parsing. You have got XLRD, XLWT to do the parsing stuff and play with Excel sheets. Okay, so support for Python. So we have got Python Software Foundation, which is continuously taking care of development on Python. PyCon. I believe some of the members attending this are associated with PyCon community India or worldwide PyCon Python enhancement proposal, which is PEP. This is again the technical strengths: object oriented, operator overloading, multiple inheritance, comprehensions, functions, anonymous functions, and things like that. We have got a number of features like this. These are just few names after them. This is actually under technical strength, but yes, it is free open source. You can copy, embed, sell. So it does not mean that it is not supported by many. This is portability. Yeah, as we talked, it is portable to many OSs and systems. Powerful. Okay, I'm going to discuss this. Easy to use, easy to learn. We have seen, okay, the history. So the creator of Python, Guido van Rossum. So it is named after the TV series Monty Python. Okay, so um, okay, so I can see, before we proceed further, I can see one more question, which is from Shilpa. I wanted to know if using PyPy will make its speed as good as C++, since we are talking about the comparison between them. Um, I don't know. I have never thought of it, frankly. But as I said, the speed comparison we were discussing was not relative to C or C++. It was relative to Python standalone execution speed itself, or with PyPy. I'm not sure whether it is how it is fast, how it becomes faster as compared to C or C++ when we use PyPy. Yep. Okay, so this was just little introduction on why to use Python, what are the capabilities and what are the libraries and what all you can do with Python. Yeah, so to get started using Python, right now I have a slide in front of you which is getting started using Eclipse. Eclipse is just one of the IDEs which we have mentioned over here, but I would just speak out what are the IDEs I like to code in Python, which is for me the first most would be PyCharm and Eclipse. Then comes idle. Then you have PyScripter. Okay, and these are the IDEs I would usually prefer to write Python code. And if I talk about only the editors, of course, the Linux guys can use Vim, and uh, I many a times I use Notepad++. Okay, so let's see how can you use Eclipse to write Python code. Okay, the link mentioned takes you to the download, and as you can see, what we are seeing over here is to download a plugin which is PyDev. This is the plugin which will enable you to write efficient Python code. So you need to download PyDev for Eclipse. So I'm fastly moving over the slides. Okay, and once you are done with the download of this installation of this plugin, which is PyDev, let's create a project. So the window you see right now is creating a project. So you need to select PyDev project, name your project and give a name, and then create a file. So okay, so this is our first ever program. As usual, it's a hello world program. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, the code is one line, which is print hello world, and then you can see the console down below in Eclipse. Hello world is put in the console. When you run, okay, interesting thing, Python interpreter. So you can run your code using this interactive shell, the interpreter shell, and you can also write a script. We will see further why do you need the interpreter and when do you want to use this script. So as soon as if your download not download it, if your installation of Python is successful, and if you're using Windows, go to the command prompt and type in Python, you would get something like triple forward arrows, that greater than, triple greater thans, that tells you that your Python is present on your system and you are ready to use it. This triple forward arrows is the Python interpreter, or the interactive shell we call it. It's like a calculator, it's an immediate. So you can see you just typed in print hello world and it gives you the output 1 plus 2 and then multiply by 5, 33, right? So when do you want to use interpreter is for shorter programs or a quick check. So it is very quick to test if you want, if you have any doubt. So it is very quick to test on interpreter rather than going to opening a file, writing the script and running it all over again, right? It is also good for taking a help on any function or functionality you are stuck with or you don't know. You can always take a help on the interpreter using the help function. So it's a prompt response shell. So for quick things, shorter programs, interpreter is preferred, right? Okay, so the elements, so you have words and then you have sentences. The story is paragraph, right? As in English, the basic elements which form a program. Variable and reserved keywords, syntax patterns, sentence structures. Story is nothing but the group of sentences which form a paragraph or a story, and in turn there might be one story which creates a program or multiple stories which form the program. So here is a little program. We're not going to discuss about the program here, but this program is counting the words in the file, right? And it is a set of statements, or we can say short stories. So we can break this as three stories: taking the input from the user, processing file or the words in the file, and counting it. Or so you can break this up in three stories or three paragraphs, which is again formed of sentences or keywords. That is the basic elements of Python. These are few of the reserved keywords. Reserved keywords which you cannot use for naming your variables or functions or things like that. These are reserved for use by Python. You have three statements over here. One is the assignment statement. Another one is assignment with expression. Last one is the print statement. Okay, let me tell you one more thing over here is that everything in Python is an object. Yeah, and there is not as you see in other languages, you have copy by value or reference or pass by value. So we have pass by reference only in Python. So Python, what are Python scripts? We just saw when it is good to use Python interpreter. Now let's see when it is not good to use Python interpreter, and rather we should go for Python script. Script in the sense you have a file which has set of statements or executable statements in the file. So interactive Python is good for experiments. As we discussed, it is for short programs, for your help, for immediate results, or you're stuck somewhere, you can use interpreter, well and good. So for the longer programs, you cannot type all over again. So it's a lot of work because interpreter does not saves your programs. It is file which will save your program. It becomes persistent for reuse. So all the Python scripts or programs, the files would have extension .py. Okay, so we have already seen a simple program which is hello world, and there are a lot of capabilities in Python which we would be discussing in further classes, and we did not have a hands-on or a practical session since this was an introductory session on Python. So yes, this marks the end of our small session on Python. Any questions? So I have got two questions. One is, can Python be used for application development like Java? Yes, of course, it can be used for application development. As we discussed, it can be used for gaming, GUI programming, web development, automation, database, image processing, networking. So yes, we can do application development on Python. Another one, is Python an interpreted language? Yes, it is sort of interpreted language. Cannot be called a pure interpreted language because you have the byte compile code in Python also. So partially, yes, it is an interpreted language. Okay, let me take this interesting question. So, who is Sandeep? Um, I hope you're asking about Sandeep Giri. And Sandeep Giri is the founder of No Big Data. And you can find about him more on nobigdata.com. Okay, Sunil has a question. Don't you need a compiler in Python like you have it in Java? No, the interpreter does it for you. All the execution is taken care by Python interpreter. You don't need a compiler in Python. So let me add a few more things. That since this was a very short discussion on what is Python and how do you execute a Python program, a very short discussion. So we have a complete course on Python programming on nobigdata.com and TechBoost, which covers all the aspects of core Python programming. One is interested in basics or advanced, this course covers all the topics. So if you guys are interested, you are most welcome to join No Big Data or TechBoost.in. Any further questions? Okay, so how long is the course? The course is, this was not the complete session it was intended for. This was supposed to be a 2 hour session, but it is reduced to just probably 45 minutes. We have similar 12 sessions, or you can say it is around 30 hours of training. Okay, what is the fees for the other sessions? Okay, so it is not a session based fees, it is for the course fee, it is for the complete course, for which the details are mentioned on nobigdata.com. So all the communication regarding the upcoming batches and the fees and these materials, the blog, everything is over at nobigdata.com. Okay, another question, does this course will help to develop MapReduce code? Yes, we have a session on MapReduce code also in this course. It is not in depth on MapReduce, but yes, it does cover. Yeah, so I'll take last two questions. Anybody? Okay, so no further questions. Thank you guys for joining for this course, this training free session. This was a free session, and people who are willing to join for this course can enroll themselves on novicdata.com. Thank you very much.